Phil, good to have you. Now, only a couple of years ago, we saw Myanmar as this promising democracy with the fastest growing economy in Asia, by the way, back in 2016. So what would you say precipitated this descent away from all of those gains? What was it, the ethnic tension and then violence that set the dominoes falling?
Actually, I think it was the ambition of the Myanmar military leaders, the people themselves at the top of the military who decided that they wanted to control power in a more thorough way. There is nothing to indicate that there was any sort of malfeasance in the November 2020 election, but nonetheless, Senior General Min Aung Hlaing decided to go forward and to seize power. And he thought it was going to be something that was going to be quite easy, that the people of Myanmar were going to acquiesce. But quite clearly, that's not the case. And now we're seeing perhaps the most widest and sort of systematic resistance of the military that we've seen in modern Myanmar history.
Yeah.
There's a movement against the entire military by the people of Myanmar, and it's continuing.
Yeah, and we've been seeing civilians training in the jungles potentially to fight the military, and there's been talk of possibly moving closer to civil war. Where do you think it stands right now?
Well, it's going to get worse before it gets better. We're going to see more tit-for-tat violence between the military and these civilian militias, the People's Defense Forces that have now organized, and also the ethnic groups. There's going to be more atrocities. Quite clearly, the Myanmar military has returned to its previous form of targeting civilians when it goes into the field. And we've seen massacres of dozens of people occur recently in Karenni State, but also previously in Sagaing Division. So the situation is going to get much worse, I think, over the next year.
So when you look for or try to look for any positive signs, you could say, okay, well, the military leaders did release thousands of political prisoners not too long ago. Military leaders have said that there could be an election in 2023. I mean, both of those things are stretches. Is there any indication in your view that there will be a move back towards democracy?
Well, I mean, those political prisoner releases, I mean, they were promising thousands of people being released. It was actually only several hundred that were released. I mean, it's up to the international community to try to create opportunities for the Myanmar military to come back to the negotiating table. We're going to see Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen travel there as the representative of ASEAN in the next couple of days, and we'll see what he gets. But I think that there has to be some sort of ongoing pressure by like-minded states, countries around the world, imposing sanctions on the military while also demanding that the UN Security Council finally break the deadlock and move forward with some comprehensive action on its own. And we've just not seen that now. And there needs to be a way forward, and it has to come, I think, from outside Myanmar to really pressure the military to recognize that they are not going to be able to just use violence to hold power indefinitely.
Right, and we've been hearing that call for a long time. And we heard the ambassador of Myanmar to the UN, who was then fired, break with the military, vehemently oppose them publicly, and beg the international community to put more pressure on the military leaders. Why do you think that hasn't happened?
I think that there's a divide at the UN Security Council between China, Russia, and the rest of the council, where they are basically resisting any effort to pressure the Myanmar military. It's the same sort of divide that we saw, for instance, on Syria, which made the UN Security Council essentially ineffectual. And so there has to be a way found to break that logjam at the UN Security Council. We've seen a lot of statements from the UN Security Council. There's been some strong resolutions, but there now needs to be action. And this is what the people of Myanmar have been demanding. They're very tired of listening to the UN issue more statements, but not do anything concrete on the ground.
Yeah, very, very frustrating to watch. All right, Phil, always great to talk to you.